A warm welcome to all of you. Our guest today is Dr. Pramila Battase. She is a chemist by training and a gardener by choice. She is an entrepreneur and has set up factories in Kolhapur. But when she bought her home with a terrace, she turned into a gardener, and that became her passion. She later took a course in landscaping at the Shivaji University, and she started as a coordinator of online and offline courses, gardening courses run by Kolhapur Garden Club. A Kolhapur Garden Club is over 55 years old. The topic today is gardening. There's been a global boom of gardening during COVID. People across the world, from India to Iran to Italy, took up gardening in a big way. It was a sense of well-being. It gave them a feel good effect. And also it was a refuge for them and a stress buster. During the pandemic, there were over 7 million first-time gardeners. Now, these gardeners, people from cities, did not have any traditional background in gardening. They did not have the know-how or the knowledge, nor the skill sets to take care of their gardens. So we have today Dr. Pramila Battase, who is trying to fill this knowledge and skill gap for the first-time gardeners, who don't have the skills. A warm welcome to you, Pramila. Thank you for joining my podcast today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chakravarti ma'am. Thank you for inviting me in your podcast. I'm very happy to communicate with you by this way. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. I'm intrigued because you are a chemist and then you moved into gardening. Now, how did that take place?
Okay. It's really a long journey.
Yes.
MSc and PhD from Savitribai Phule University of Pune. I completed my PhD in 1993, I think, and joined a job as a lecturer in Abbasaheb Garware College, Pune. Shortly, my husband shifted to Kolhapur for his startup in industrial foundry field manufacturing business. And anyway, our first priority was family. So I have to leave the job at Pune and I am shifted in Kolhapur along with my husband. So our business was yet to start. So to the safer side for my family, I continued my lecturership in Shivaji University, Kolhapur for few years. Meanwhile, in this period of 7 to 8 years around, we were blessed by 2 kids. I was the only member in my family to look after Sunil and my 2 kids too. So one fine morning, I stopped my temporary job and then gave full attention to my family. Meanwhile, I was working to establish our laboratories in a factory. And that was the little contribution as an entrepreneur in our own business, family business. Subsequently, my kid became independent. There was no need of me to drop them to school and bring them back at home. And we shifted to our new flat in an apartment where we got a terrace of around 1,000 square feet area. And this was the beginning. We dreamed about a terrace garden with inherited knowledge about farming and plants. I soon converted this place into award-winning garden within 2 to 3 years' time, actually. In this period, we also purchased a barren piece of land near Kolhapur and started plantation of fruit trees there. While all this was on, I came across gardening course conducted in Gokhale College, which is affiliated to Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Through this course, I got associated with President of Gardens Club, Kolhapur, Dr. Dhanashri ma'am. She pushed me into teaching the same course, and now this course is now conducted by Gardens Club Kolhapur. For last few years, I am working as a teaching faculty and as a coordinator for the same course. All these activities added a great flavor to my terrace garden, of course.
Thank you, Pramila. That's really lovely, to see your
Yeah.
fascinating journey, a very unusual journey, if I may say so. Yeah, your terrace garden is talk of the town in Kolhapur.
Yeah.
Everybody talks
Yes, thank
about
you.
your terrace garden. I would like to know more about the courses you offer. What are the different courses in gardening and horticulture you offer?
Okay. Actually, one is a 1 year course. One course is a 1 year course, and other are short-term courses or short-term workshops for 2 days, 3 days, and so on. I'll talk more about this 1 year course. Title is Horticulture and Nursery Management. Actually, it is affiliated to Community Development Center, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. And it is 1 year certificate course by Shivaji University, but run by Gardens Club Kolhapur. And it's very old, 55 years NGO working in all aspects of environment. So GC, I will refer GC for Gardens Club. So GC is also extended into her other sister branches like Kolhapur Bonsai Club, which is associated with Bonsai Study Group of Indo-Japanese Association and Mumbai chapter, and also associated with SABF, that is South Asia Bonsai Federation. Then many of our GC members are USA members too, Indian Women Scientist Association. Then recent past, we have started a Ikebana study group, which is associated with Ohara School of Mumbai chapter. Then one of the area of GC or GC is divided in several areas like plantation, then seed collection, and many more. So one of them is green education, where I am working for this course. So green education from Gardens Club. Initially, it was run at Kolhapur local for nearby people only. But calamity of COVID opened an opportunity for us for this course to convert as an online course also. Then this enabled people from outside Kolhapur for doing the same. This also enabled busy professionals like doctors, architects, lawyers, and housewives take out some time from their busy schedule to nurture the hobby of gardening and love for gardening. Most of the students are ladies, and therefore suitable timings for our course is in the afternoon 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for both the courses, online as well as offline course. Batch size is around 50 students per batch. In totality, 50 to 60 lectures are conducted in various aspects of gardening.
Okay. I also, conducted some online courses for the garden club.
Yeah,
One,
I have attended few of them, ma'am.
yes, yes, a
Yes.
few of them. And one, was on traditional, ancient nutrition gardens. Were,
Yeah.
like Nakshatra one and Disha one. So it was very fascinating. I really enjoyed, and the students I found were so interactive, and they were across India. That's what I really liked about it. Yeah, it's really wonderful. So now, you're bridging a gap. How do we join your online courses? If you're from any other part of India or the world.
Okay, we are using Zoom platform. The same we are communicating with each other. Their admissions are, of course, with a Google form we create, and they are taking admissions through Google form only. On every Thursday and Friday at 2 to 4 a.m. 4 p.m. there will be lecture for them. So communicating them on screen only. Most
Okay.
of the time, I'm taking the opportunity wherever I go. If I know my student is there in that city, we try to meet there.
Okay,
But
okay. That's good,
that's the way.
connecting with your
Yeah,
students is excellent.
yeah.
You come
Theory
from,
lectures, it is easy to demonstrate, easy to deliver, but for demo also, it is very good platform, Zoom platform, ki demo they can understand very well. Even for garden visits, we took them for virtual garden visits, and they
Okay.
enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh,
we are receiving very good feedback from them for this
yes.
visual tours
Yes,
also.
I'm sure. So I'd like to know, you've come from a small village and you rose to the highest academic, education. So I'd like to know
So
about your beginnings, and your childhood.
I'm from very tiny village named Dugao, which is situated near Manmad railway station in Nasik district. It's a very tiny and small village. My father was a farm labor along with my mother. Both of them were farm labor. Even they didn't have their own land also at that time. So my father purchased a barren land. Lack of money, he could not purchase a well-established cultivation. I mean, the land which is under cultivation. But he purchased a barren land, and then with physical efforts, because I'm talking uh, past, I mean, before 60, 65 years ago, there were no all these JCBs and other farm equipments. So manually, he has to establish that land. He has to develop that land into a cultivated land. That was his journey. Then he was strong supporter for girl education. Though a farmer, he was supporter of girl education. First experiment he did on my mother, okay, which was remain limited just for her signature. She could write her name in Marathi, that's all. But he loved the most amongst his 5 kids to me. And the reason was my education. Then participated in establishing a rural school in our village. And due to that school only, we got opportunity to learn, to start our education there itself. It was to the 10th standard. Then none of my siblings continued after 10th in this education field, but I did it. After my HSC, for going to graduation, my college was around 50 to 55 kilometers away from my home. And I managed to travel daily 100 kilometers with inadequate traveling facilities in those days. It was very difficult time for me to complete my science graduation, but I did it. It was possible just because of my father's support. Otherwise, I could not have done it. And I was the first girl who was science graduate, first girl doing MSc from my town. And I was the first doctorate fellow in chemistry in my entire tahsil named Chandwad near Nashik district. And this record remain on my name till today.
Oh,
The
that
first
means
doctorate
we
in
really need to
chemistry,
bring
a
up the
girl
girls.
student.
Yeah.
Yeah. For last 60
Yes.
years, the record remained on my name.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Because you're such an
Okay.
inspiration, the other girls must start taking it up and,
Yeah.
coming up in life. So there is some vacuum, something over there which I think probably, you can reach out and, do something.
Maybe the affinity towards education that was inherited from my father. He could
Hmm.
not complete his education,
Hmm.
but he saw his dream completing by me. My mother, who was illiterate but very strong lady, then she was quite accurate in oral mathematics because she maintained accounts. She used to maintain accounts of our, uh, farm workers very effectively and efficiently without any written documents. And that's, we feel she was very good in mathematics and accounting.
That is
Okay.
remarkable. And this is
Yeah.
part of our culture. Even without
Yeah.
education, Indians are very good in maths, oral maths and, mental maths. I think we have
Yeah.
this rich tradition. I think.
And how strong she was as a rural and illiterate lady. That story is again different, which can prove her strongness.
Yes, please tell us the story.
Yeah,
Of course.
okay. And that's you can I mean, it's a very special birth story of mine. I can explain you in a little bit ways. It was 11th March 1963 when I was born around sunset timings. In the morning, same day, she woke up with mild labor pains and she realized it's time to go to hospital now. But before going to maternity hospital, which was away 70 kilometers from our town, she had lot many things to accomplish because for next 15 days she won't be available for doing the same. So after completing that scheduled work, she started her journey towards Nashik by ordinary ST bus, and she was alone traveling with her luggage for a delivery into the hospital. That too 70 kilometers away from the town. She was alone because my father can't move along with her because he is totally busy with his farm work and all those things. Grandmother was there at home, but I had siblings and she has to look after them. So my mother was alone traveling. Then it was decided she will go first to her sister, my maternal auntie, and both of them will go for hospital. That was previously decided. So till to the Nashik, she has to travel alone. Then in the middle of journey, my mother realized the time, which is very short. So she requested to that driver and conductor to move fast. And that day, that ordinary bus traveled or reached to Nashik with minimal stops required. They listened to her and they helped her in that way. After getting down with a difficulty with all her luggage, to the desired place, I mean, near my auntie's home, she managed a tanga, that is a cart, ride by
Horse
horse
carriage.
ride cart. Okay. So she seated in a cart. She managed for a person to run for her sister's home to convey a message that your sister is coming on tanga and she don't have time to come in your home. You please be ready to get with her, to get it in tanga with her. And then he did it with a bicycle. Then when she reached near to her home, my auntie was ready to travel with her. Then she joined my mother. The person who was conveyed the message that your sister is coming, he went on bicycle. So my uncle took his bicycle and he started following the tanga towards the hospital. Okay. After 10-15 minutes, she again realized tanga can't reach to the hospital in short span. So she requested that uncle to hire a taxi. And that was there, fortunately. Dahipul area in Nashik, there was a taxi stand. So he managed a taxi. My mother and her sister, both of them shifted into the taxi, and taxi was running to the hospital. When taxi was crossing main road of Nashik city, I was born in that taxi. And I can't imagine even how did she manage that situation. Okay. Within next 10 minutes, taxi reached to the hospital and then her custody along with me was taken by the hospital. Reaching in the hospital, my twin brother was born. And that was a shock and a first time news to my mom, to my auntie, to my uncle and all others that my mom was pregnant with twins in her, I mean, she was pregnant with twins. That was the first time news. We can compare nowadays our pregnancy within first month. Give us a clear picture. that single child, double child, whether it is okay with all our organs are formed and not. Until at the time of delivery, she didn't knew she was carrying two babies.
This is what I heard when I read about Good Earth as a child. This is a story which is like that, very similar.
Yeah,
How the woman was so courageous and completed her tasks just like your mother. So
yeah,
responsibilities, were really weighing heavy on women. And it's incredible and
yeah,
courageous woman, I must say. I'm
yeah.
completely moved by your story, Pramila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll come back to our gardening course, I think.
Yes, now we'll come back to our gardening. So, Pramila
Yeah.
and I first met in Kolhapur for environmental conference, and then again
Hmm.
in Vengurla for a bonsai
Yeah.
convention. Yes,
Hmm.
and at that time we shared a room, and it was really
Yeah.
wonderful,
Bengal.
exchanging notes with
Yeah.
Pramila. Pramila,
Yes.
I would now like to know,
Yes.
you to give us some success stories in your
Mhm.
classes. Did anybody become an entrepreneur? Did they
Yeah.
start gardening?
Chitra Deshpande and Jayshree Kajaria from GC members, they have completed the same course. Dipali Taiwade Patil,
Yes.
all three. I mean, Chitra Deshpande, Jayshree Kajaria, Dipali Taiwade, they are very good landscape designers now for others to
That's
develop
all.
their gardens. That's the success, yeah.
Yes,
Then
yes.
Varsha Vaichar, she engaged herself in seed collection events in association with many schools in Kolhapur.
Uh-huh.
That is the activity, one of the activity of GC, and Varsha Vaichar is engaged with their seed collection drive through this course only.
Okay.
Then Preeti Athane and Pallavi Kulkarni from our club, they have started their agro-tourism business in Kolhapur.
Okay.
And it's running very well. Then Sunil Baudekar, one of a textile engineer student from Itzal Karanji, he had started urban organic farming, total organic farming, and a garden developer. He
Okay.
established in his own business as a textile engineer, became his past now.
Okay.
And after completing this, yeah, he is a garden developer, urban farming, especially
Acha.
urban farming,
Okay.
and organic ways.
Yeah.
Then there are so many. Sunetra Daule, she is an entrepreneur, runs online business and even offline ways. She supplies succulents and too many organic fertilizers and all whatever requirement for gardening. She is doing a business, trading business in that.
Uh-huh.
Very good trading business.
Okay. That's really good,
Then
Pramila. I think you have
actually for
transformed
all of
lives.
these,
Yeah.
yeah,
You have
all
transformed
these
lives.
students, gardens, actually Gardens Club provided them very good platform through a green shopping. Once in a month, there is a green shopping is organized through Gardens Club for these students to sell their products or sell their services,
Mm-hmm.
both of them.
Okay.
Many products include organic fertilizers, pesticides, eco-friendly bags, vegetable colors, decorative plants, pots, and homemade good quality products, even seeds and saplings, and many more things are sold through
Okay.
these students in our green shopping. And that's the success. What
It's
else we need?
absolute success, I must say.
Yes.
Pramila, can
Yes.
you give us some tips on terrace gardening and growing fruit trees? You've grown over 200 fruit trees on your farm.
Yeah, okay. Fruit trees, actually, we purchased a barren land and developed into again cultivable. And initially, we planted fruit trees. Most of them amongst mango, then sapota, chiku, what we can say, few then lemon, and then goa, and all those. But mango is the main production from my farm. Totally from plantation to harvesting, I have managed it in very organic way. I have avoided all chemical fertilizers and poisonous pesticides for them. So yield remain little less. than others. Almost 100 mango trees are there. As compared to the number, my yield is lesser than other farmers from Konkan area or all. But it's very tasty and good quality mangoes I am harvesting. So, while referring this fruit plantation to others, I will say don't plant your trees unknowingly. I mean, buy them from a reputed nursery. Then one has to plant a grafted varieties of fruit for very good yield and the same as per its mother plant. From seeds, if we plant a tree, it will take longer time for fruiting and the quality of fruit will not be the same as compared to the seed which you are planting. So that grafted trees are grafted saplings are more important, and that the nursery from whom you are buying, that should be a reputed one. So it is better to purchase from a government nursery.
Okay.
For example, coconut plant. Most of the time, people used to keep a coconut dipped in that kalash in
Yes.
front of God. And so one fine morning, they see there is the sapling is coming out of the seed.
Yeah.
And then it becomes little emotional. We don't have our place to grow it. So they used to hand over it. Like me, you have a place to grow it and please plant it in your farm. Plainly refuse such a emotional blackmailings. We don't know that coconut which is brought for a Bhagwan, for worship. We haven't tasted it. We don't know the fruit quality, the plant, whether it is carrying some inherited abnormalities for the fruit. We never tasted it, whether that coconut taste is good, adequate quantity of oil is there and all these things. And we came to know it after 8-9 years. So even knowing after 8-9 years, it is not good qualities, what we can do.
Correct.
So better to avoid such a plantation.
Okay. What
That's
about
about the
terrace
fruit tree.
gardens?
And
Any
try
tips
to
for terrace?
let it be the
Acha. Any tips
pardon.
for terrace gardening?
Terrace gardening, okay. Fruit tree is another part. I was talking about farm fruit trees. Even terrace gardening is very joyful. I mean, not only terrace gardening itself is a joyful process. It is not a hobby. I always refer, gardening is not a hobby, it's a necessity nowadays.
Yes.
And for our joy, for our health, for your mind-body coordination, terrace garden is very safe. For a personal terrace garden, it is very safe as compared to garden on land. The street passer, then dogs and other pets, they will not disturb you. Even it's a very private place to enjoy. Then to your family time along with your kids and your family. And it is very joyful to work in your terrace garden. It's a meditation. It's a physical workout due to availability of sunlight for 12 hours, entire 12 hours sunlight. Flower production is enhanced in terrace garden as compared to ground garden,
Really?
what I will say. So many advantages, so many.
Okay.
So I like terrace garden much more than a ground garden.
So you're a real city girl. Thank you very much, Pramila.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Nowadays, I
talking
think
to you.
nowadays.
It was really wonderful talking to you. I mean, you've given us so many tips and so much of insight into not only gardening, but also women power and also the men who helped women rise. You know, it's very rare for a man, you know, or like, especially your father, he has helped women rise. He's taught your mother courage. He's taught your mother to write. I mean, he's educated you so much. I think we need men like your father to support women It's very, very important. Unless we get support from men,
Yeah.
we cannot really run our homes and, and establish our careers.
Mahatma Phule, who
Ah,
taught his wife first.
ah.
I have seen a live Mahatma Phule in my life, in my
Yes,
father.
yes. No, and you come from a
Yeah.
family of traditional gardeners, nurturers of flowers, fruits, and vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you must have got a lot of ancient wisdom. The Indian knowledge system must have been passed on to you, which helped you in your gardening.
Yeah. Fa- Farming itself is an ancient knowledge.
Yes.
I got it's inherited to me through my father. I
Huh.
have seen him working a lot with his field, okay,
Mhm.
experimenting too many things. In
Huh.
really speaking, I have seen a carver in my father before reading the book Carver. Ek Hota Carver, that was a book,
Acha.
what I read. And then
Uh-huh.
I realized my father was similar to him. So, too many things, his experiments, uh, I was observing from my childhood, and it may be the insight. Chemistry remain long, long back, and I am a gardener.
Yes.
That may be the case. And it is the takeover from my family members, my mother and my father, what I feel.
Yes, I think that's how you became a researcher and did so much of research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, this course was designing
Uh-huh.
20 years back,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a small farmers in picture.
Mm-hmm.
One should help their, uh, they should start some business out of that farming, and that was the main aim. That's what our director told me 20
Mm-hmm.
years ago when the syllabus was designed. This farmer were in inside picture.
Okay.
But later on, what happened in a city like Kolhapur, though it's a small, but it's a city, for this gardening course, many gardeners started coming. I mean, for developing their home garden, their own garden, or to become a garden developer. When it from farmers, it has been shifted to gardeners.
Yes.
And then we, not me, we in the Gardens Club of Kolhapur, we have converted this course, or we have shifted this course purely from farmers to the gardeners. And too many modifications, no, additions we had made, not modifications. It university course, we have to go along with their syllabus. But in addition to that, we have developed too many new things in this course. What I can list little bit what we have added. Basically, urban farming. I mean, kitchen gardening. We have converted our kitchen gardenings to Nutri-kitchen garden. Not only kitchen garden, we call it as Nutri-kitchen garden. We have taught our students, or we have taken efforts for the students to convert to get maximum nutrition from this kitchen garden. Instead of just growing flower plants and decorative plants and indoor plants, so work more for kitchen garden, and that will add to your health for your entire family. Then we taught them not to use any chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Their drawbacks nowadays, everybody knows. So
Yes.
where should we get that pesticide free and chemical free vegetables for our own diet? Why farmers should do that for us? It is not economical for them. Ultimately, their family has to survive. They should get some profit. They are not ready to implement full organic way for their vegetative cultivation.
Mhm.
And what happens? People, we are shouting at farmers. They are using these pesticides. They are using, I mean, chemical things and all those things. So what we used to teach, start it yourself. I mean, you have to work for your own needs.
Mhm.
So instead of growing only flower plants, only decorative, one corner of your garden should be, or most of your garden should be only the kitchen garden. This is the addition, or we have focused on kitchen garden in our course. Then keep them purely organic. I have included the topic microgreens in this course.
Mhm.
Microgreens, we know it is called a superfood. And I used to refer microgreens as a tabletop model in the kitchen gardening. So
Uh-huh.
when somebody says we don't have a place for gardening and we just have one balcony and one window, so I used to teach them for microgreens, nothing is required. No space, no terrace, no window, no balcony. You can grow them in your table, I mean dining table also.
Correct, correct.
And that works better. Huh? Minimum space and minimum time to required grow a microgreens. Just within 8 to 10 days, you can consume them. And they are superfood. They are very rich in antioxidants, in minerals, in vitamins, many other benefits for microgreens, and it is very easy to implement it. So I have insisted them to grow microgreens.
Yeah.
All my students are very, and now they are doing the same and enjoying their food with microgreens.
That's really
Besides that,
wonderful.
when we grow flowers, beautiful flowers from our garden or in our garden, it is not just to offer for God to pray and ask something for in spite. So that flowers should also be the part of your diet. A
Yes.
very good floral drinks can be made from our flowers if we don't use any chemical pesticide and fertilizers to that flowers. Nowadays, gulkand, we know, it is easily available in our market because roses. India is the #1 country exporting roses to other countries. So roses cultivation, it's it's very easy, but to bring those roses from market and using it to making gulkan is not advisable at all. Floriculture is the farming where maximum amount of pesticides are used to keep them beautiful. That will not help for our health, and that should not be the part of our diet. Instead of, you cultivate roses in your own garden, even hibiscus flower, jasmine, many flowers are there which are edible and you can use not only for making a gulkan, but tasty and beautiful, colorful floral drinks are made from these flowers like hibiscus, gokarna, aparajita, even that Gauri flower, terda, we used to
Mm.
call it. Very beautiful colors. Palash flowers. And all these flowers are having a medicinal values, medicinal properties, which will help to our health. So floral drinks is one of our added topic to our course. Not only for from flowers, but all edible plants. I mean, they may be fruit plant, they may be these flower plants. From their leaves, very energetic energy drinks can be made. And I have introduced that energy drink. If you consume a glass of energy drink every day, you will become a healthy. You don't need any medicines or any food supplies. Rich
Yes.
in calcium, rich in chlorophyll and vegetable. We know green vegetables role in our diet.
Mm.
So that energy drink can be made from these leaves, edible plant leaves. Then from our garden, fruits. We know fruit ones comes at a time, they will ripen. So instead of just sharing them to neighbors and all those, one should do that. But if they are excess and if your kids are not at home, they are away for their education, and when they will come home. So preserve something for them. So make some products through food processing, several drinks, jams, and other durable products can be made. That is taught in our course.
It's it's wonderful, Pramila. I mean, you're telling me so many things. I think I need to do more episodes with you, you know. I would like to invite you for more episodes because there's so much of
Okay.
learning. You've talked
And
about.
yeah, in addition to all this eating part,
Uh,
again, several things we used to teach them just for their earning part also taken into consideration. They can start a small entrepreneurship. They can earn little bit. Creative gardening skills is the area we work on that.
okay.
We I mean, all our GC members have taken much more effort to develop these creative gardening skills. We have done courses for this first. And then we started teaching to our student, that is bonsai making, terrarium, tray gardens, kokedama making, plant bouquet for green gifting. These are the few examples for this creative gardening school. In addition to running this course, our GC member, JC president, past president Dhanashri ma'am, Kalpana Sawant ma'am, and now current president Pallavi Kulkarni, they have taken efforts to run short-time courses with these creative gardening skills in various institutes like Sophia College in Mumbai, KPID Kolhapur, colleges from Sangamner, Sangola, Hubli, and all over Maharashtra. We have signed MOUs for these creative gardening skill courses,
Uh-huh.
2 days, 3 days courses. We go there in their colleges and we teach these courses to the students during their graduation level itself. This is, of course, credit goes to Gardens Club. I am just one part of it.
You are the coordinator.
Yeah, I am the coordinator. Okay, but without their support, our
Of course,
president's support,
one can do
yeah,
nothing alone. We
one
need
can do
support
nothing
from
alone.
others.
Yeah,
So,
it's
Pramila,
it's actually a group work, joint work.
correct, correct. So, Pramila,
That's
thank
true.
you very much. It was wonderful having you on the show. You've given us so many insights, from food security and micronutrient deficiency and nutrition security, organic farming, and above all, you've told us women how to live, the courage to live,
Yes,
the courage of conviction. Thank you very much. And I look
yes.
forward to
Thank you.
having you again on my episode.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
and bye
Thank you,
bye.
ma'am.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.